Hello, go back here into Cadence Weather Center. Today is September 6th, 2025 here. Today we're, going to be starting, obviously, we're going to start up back those daily weather updates. So giving you the forecast here now for September 7th here, 2025. So we're going to kind of pay attention to that as well as talking about what is going on currently right now. So if you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do have any questions about the weather for your area over the next week or anything like that, make sure to leave it down in the comments down below. But let's get right into the video. So taking a look right now here around the United States, what are we currently looking at? Well, taking a look currently right now around the United States, we're seeing a lot of, rain on the I-95 corridor, especially here in the northeast, as well as, we're kind of seeing a very big quiet kind of conditions continuing on in the central part of the United States. That's due to a high pressure that is now building in, and we do have a heat wave that will be starting to ramp up once again. We do have some severe storms continuing on over here in parts of northern Oregon, and then we really do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing on in North Carolina, going all the way down here into parts of Alabama, as well as some in the parts of the Florida Panhandle or the Florida central part of Florida here as well. So continuing to pay attention to that. For the severe weather risk going on throughout tonight, not seeing much going on. The tornado threat less than 2%, not much, but in these little green areas, maybe slightly, scattered showers, thunderstorms at times. I definitely know we've been seeing a lot of that in Florida, as well as we've really been seeing it throughout the Carolinas here, stretching all throughout the northeast today, with some pretty, big storms that have kind of made its way through to the east. Taking a look at tomorrow's severe weather threat, we don't have anything really continuing to be a main concern for tomorrow. No chances for tornadoes, wind, or hail. We'll see if there's maybe a marginal risk as we wake up tomorrow morning, but right now, not expected to have any major severe weather threat going on tomorrow. So let's take a look right now here at the next forecast. So here in the next hour of the recording of this video, still once again, we have the high pressure that has built up over here in the central part of the United States, and that is really bringing all that rainfall that's going to be continuing on in the northeast. That eventually that high pressure will kind of build in, and that will bring maybe some warmer temperatures over here to the eastern part of the United States as that rainfall eventually moves its way off to the east coast here and moves back into the Atlantic there. You can see the high pressure kind of building in. We have majority of our rainfall really stretching, our biggest of storms will be staying offshore here. We can see that stretching all the way from South Florida all the way over here into parts of Maine, but still as we head into the early morning hours, we still could be seeing some slight rain showers continuing on over here in parts of the northeast, really stretching from all the way from eastern Tennessee all the way into parts of southern Maine. We're going to be seeing a lot of that rainfall. Now, the storms that are continuing on in the west, that will eventually move its way off to the northwest here. Some storms could be getting kind of active here in the northwestern part of Washington. That does include the Seattle region, but we're going to continue to pay attention to that as we head into the early morning hours. As we head more into tomorrow, we can kind of see Virginia, the storms will kind of move off to the east there for you guys, as well as the northeast. You guys will be having those storms kind of making their way slowly but surely off the east coast there. As we start to head into tomorrow afternoon. Probably by tomorrow evening, it should start to clear up there, and definitely we could see majority of the United States is going to be pretty clear as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look here at the IR satellite right now here of Hurricane Kiko, the storm is continuing to is now weakening. I will say that is 120 mile an hour category 3 hurricane, so still a major, could possibly go up maybe another 5 miles an hour with the winds, but continuing that west northwestward motion there, and is expected still once again to continue over the islands of Hawaii. And we've seen a little bit more of a bump to the north here for that forecast cone. We can see the Hawaiian Islands are not in the cone anymore, but still that the cone of uncertainty is a little bit more wider than we did see yesterday. So still we could be seeing a storm go more to the south here of the cone, or maybe even parts of the northern part of the cone. So models are, kind of agreeing at this point, starting to get to that agreement, but still we still have a pretty wide cone. So even if this cone, even if you live in Hawaii and you're like, oh, we're not in the cone, if the storm takes a little bit more of a southern approach, there will be more impacts to the islands. Now, no matter what, with the storm being right here on Tuesday, we could be seeing some pretty big impacts here, even though as a tropical storm, we could be seeing some possible big rip currents continuing on for you. And then if we were to have some tropical storm conditions, when would it arrive? Well, obviously right now the chances are continuing to just decrease as we head into the Hawaiian Islands here. We could still see that there's a 10% chance there. If there was any tropical storm conditions, if the storm pushed more to the south, then we'll be seeing that kind of around kind of midday for the big island here of Monday. And then we kind of could see about Monday night heading into early Tuesday morning that could impact the more of the northern islands there. So something to pay attention to as we go on with that storm. Good news is the GFS and the European model do bring it well due north of the Hawaiian Islands. You can clearly see, though, it does get digged up to the north, really will go up there and really won't impact too much with Hawaii. Maybe some scattered showers and, thunderstorms could be associated with this storm going through the Hawaiian Islands. But right now, the big concern, obviously, is that this, beach conditions will be the worst. But you can see that the storm goes off to the north and won't be too big of a concern there for the Hawaiian Islands, which is some good news there from the GFS. Euro model pretty much kind of saying that the same thing. Maybe a slightly stronger system there at 996 millibars. So the European definitely has not been the best on the intensity with this storm. The GFS has been more better, but definitely, with this 996 millibar, that could be a possible high-end tropical storm, maybe even a low-end category 1 there. Then we'll start to rapidly weaken as it continues to move off to the west, but then possibly strengthens once again. So the European, I think, with the intensity forecast is not the best right now to rely on with that. So right now, let's take a look right now currently here on the National Hurricane Center for the Atlantic side. We can obviously see Invest 91L. There is no polygon or anything like that for it anymore. We can see that for that storm has now dissipated and the dry air really has taken over that storm, so we haven't seen much with that going on. The GFS model with the Atlantic, what are we currently looking at? Well, I do want to keep your eye out down here, kind of in the Gulf here in the Western Caribbean, because that definitely, we've been seeing that, obviously, that chances here of maybe something coming down, where we see maybe a front kind of coming down and something kind of spins off of it there. We've kind of been seeing that from the GFS here and maybe even the Euro model as well, or kind of something kind of spinning off Central America, and you kind of can see that. So we see something kind of form here off of Central America and then makes its way over here to the east. That could bring some pretty big tropical moisture here into the southeast, bringing that into Florida and possibly even into the Carolinas coast as well. And if we take a look at what the GFS is saying here from the latest run, at least with the precipitation, we can clearly see that majority of that rainfall, if this storm was to form, would be off the coast there, but still that is something to be concerned about because those are pretty big total rainfall there. European model kind of, hinting at maybe the same thing, possibly hinting at this tropical wave back here to eventually make its way off to the west, and does have that possibility of forming. National Hurricane Center doesn't have that marked, but we kind of can see that here with the European model. Maybe not a strong system, but definitely could have a little bit of characteristics there for that. But we can definitely see our main focus with that one area being possibly in the Gulf. Not too much going on, but still does bring some tropical moisture here into Florida, but not too much as what the GFS is saying there. Now, our biggest thing for the video today, we're talking about the temperatures. We're expecting the temperatures really to, obviously, once again, as we said earlier in this video, to really just start to heat up here in the central part of the United States. We're going to be seeing that kind of continuing on, and kind of in this Ohio Valley region right here. We're going to see those temperatures kind of rise up, and we're going to kind of pay attention to that very, very closely here right now. Now, obviously, we see that the southeast very, very warm continuing on right now. We can see that. As we head into tomorrow, we're expecting the temperatures, or this is for Monday, expecting those high temperatures to really still be pretty nice here, kind of more in the northeast and the Ohio Valley, as well as even parts of Oregon and Washington coast. We could be seeing some pretty nice temperatures there. Heading into day 3, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of a heat up kind of happening over here in the eastern part of the United States, but more of a cool down here on the western part, which obviously will be a lot better for the west coast. And then, but we know for the east coast here, it's going to be hot no matter what. Heading into day 4 here, so this would be on Wednesday. Once again, seeing those temperatures really cooling down over here on the west coast of the United States, and really starting to kind of pick up as we head into the central part of next week. We're going to be seeing those central part of the United States temperatures going up. The south here, if you live in Arizona, Florida, Texas, Louisiana, you guys are just hanging out with those high temperatures right now for the next couple of days, and really just going to be pretty good chances that we're going to be waiting a while. So taking a look right now at the low temperatures here for tomorrow night, we're going to be seeing here, this is for Sunday night, we're going to be seeing some temperatures possibly reaching up into the upper 30s in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, maybe even into the upper 40s. We're going to be seeing also some cooler temperatures digging really deep down here into the south and really into the northeast here, reaching into the 40s, maybe up here in parts of Maine, going all the way down here into West Virginia, could be possibly reaching into that 48, 51 degree range, with Kentucky being 50 degrees and continuing on right there. And then possibly the mountains could be getting some pretty cold temperatures right there as well. Taking a look at the Florida temperatures, we can obviously see you're very hot still during the during the nighttime hours. But we can definitely see that Texas will get a little bit of a cool down during the low temperatures this tomorrow evening, and that will kind of dig down a little bit deeper here. Now I will say, unfortunately, we're going to be seeing these, the cold front kind of coming down, but it will not come down any farther than that. So that's kind of going to be our sad thing here if you do live in the southeast. But northern Texas, you guys could be really getting some nicer temperatures there. But once again, we do have, obviously those temperatures right here. This is going to be on Monday. We're going to be seeing those temperatures really for the low temperatures here at nighttime. Ohio, possibly getting into the mid 40s there, as well as parts of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, maybe into the upper 30s, maybe even in the mid 30s there. So really, we're going to be having this cooler temperature, and then we'll start to eventually warm back up as we head into next weekend. We're going to see those low temperatures really start to kind of ramp up here, kind of in the central part of the United States here, but the Northeast will stay pretty nice and nice and chill with those temperatures. So taking a look here at the IR satellite here of the picture of the United States, we can obviously see once again very quiet as we have that high pressure that's kind of building in over here to the central part of the United States. Some rain showers kind of continuing on over here. We've seen, a couple thunderstorms that we can see obviously on satellite kind of blowing up over here in Oregon. Our biggest rainfall threat continuing on, and a lot of clouds continuing on over here in parts of the eastern part of the country, and then a lot of thunderstorms and convection did blow up over here over Florida, so not too long ago. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did have a great rest of your day there. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and once again, if you have any questions about any weather that is going on around the country, make sure to leave it down in the comments. Make sure to follow my X page down in the description as well to, follow for frequent updates here on the tropics as well as severe weather. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys had a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and bye-bye.